Advantage Barcelona. Advantage Barcelona, because after Real Madrid were hammered by Atletico Madrid, Barcelona go top of the table thanks to a 2-1 victory. And you know what this game told me across 90 minutes? It just showed me how disrespectful it is. How disrespectful it is that Pedri finished outside of the top 10 in the Ballon d'Or race. We've got so much to talk about, so make sure you hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. Now, let's start with, obviously, the game with Barcelona going a goal down. There's one thing about, Barcelona under Hansi Flick, guys. Even for me as a neutral, when I'm watching the game, I just feel like no matter if they go a goal down, if they concede an equaliser, whatever happens, I think the game's not over until Barcelona say it's over. And that is the case again today. They go a goal down, and you know what? I did not count them out. Now, I want to speak about Pedri. Because he's the best midfielder in the world. He is, for me, the best midfielder in European football without a shadow of a doubt. And I think that's why I was even more shocked on Monday where he finished in the Ballon d'Or race. It wasn't really, I didn't expect him to finish first or second, but having him outside of the top 10 was absolutely disrespectful. Completing the most passes against Real Sociedad, creating 2 chances as well. Consistent touches in the game, and that's what you want from your midfielder. I think that's what you want from your midfielder, to dictate the game, dictate the tempo of the game, be able to drive your team forward, and even when you get into those final thirds, be able to create something. 16 passes in the final third into the opponent's box, 3 touches in the opposition's box, and to be honest, I don't dwell on those numbers too tough, because where he operates best for me is that edge of the box area. He's always going to be a threat. Successful dribbles, 100% successful dribbles, and this is just for the people that like to watch football looking at numbers, because you don't need to look at the numbers. Just from the eye test alone, I think you can see the impact that Pedri has. Won majority of his ground duels throughout the game consistently, but like I said, he's always, I don't know, man, as a Manchester United fan, I would kill to have a player like Pedri in my midfield, and Barcelona have that. And not just have that, I think it's a great partnership between him and De Jong. I think that's a very top partnership that they have. But let's talking about Manchester United, let's talk about Marcus Rashford. Another goal contribution in the game. Might not be scoring double-digit goals so far, but is creating, and could have had a goal if he didn't come off. I was pleasantly pleased with his performance, having watched him obviously throughout his time at United, his time at Villa. When I watch Marcus Rashford this season at Barcelona, he doesn't look like a shadow of himself. And I think a lot of people expected him to be. But to me, he don't look like someone who's a shadow of himself. He looks like the Marcus Rashford that I've probably been used to watching, especially when he was at his best. Not scared to go at his man, not scared to take on his fullback. He's not scared to cut in and try and shoot, create something, gets an assist. Could have had, I think, a goal if he was maybe more fortunate. Maybe could have even had another assist. But he's just threatening on that left-hand side, and that's what Barcelona need, in my opinion. With Rafinha being out, you need to have that winger that's able to get at their man, and talking about wingers that can get at their guy, I mean, Lamine Yamal just doing what Lamine Yamal does best, I guess. He's just like, Barcelona for me, guys, is probably favourites across most competitions. If they can be consistent, if they can keep pushing, keep persevering, if they're able to keep scoring at the level that they're able to score at, Barcelona for me are favourites for La Liga. They're favourites for Champions League. If they can get it over the line. Now, the only thing for me about Barcelona is that back line, that high line that Hansi Flick likes to play all the time, and I think it can get exposed. But Barcelona is one of those teams where they concede 1, they score 2. They concede 2, they score 4. It's not a problem. And Lamine Yamal doing what he does best, coming off the bench, immediate impact. Immediate. From the second he came on, I just knew Barcelona were about to go up. I just knew it. And similar to Rashford, but even in a better style and a better way, and just more confidence, I think, when he's getting at his fullback, nutmeg. How can you play so confidently at that age? It's crazy, because I've been watching Lamine Yamal for a couple of years now, and even I'm still amazed when I watch him, thinking, how can you still be playing at that level, at that age? It just does not make any sense to me. Like, Barcelona fans, please enlighten me. How do you feel about it? Because for me, it just doesn't make sense how someone can be that young and be that good and be that fearless. And that is what probably I think young footballers need. They need to be fearless, because once you put fear in them, once you instill fear in them, then suddenly they're second guessing themselves. But Lamine Yamal has this free flowing football that he's able to play at Barcelona, and he can punish opponents, and he did exactly that to Munoz. Get past him, puts a great delivery in, and Lewandowski doing what Lewandowski does best. It's crazy to me to think even that Lewandowski is 37 years old. Why doesn't nobody actually speak about how old Lewandowski actually is? Because it's unheard of, in my opinion, for a striker to be scoring goals at the level. Last year, hitting 40 goals in all comps casually at his age. This season, picking up where he left off. He's being that focal point for Barcelona. A lot of people talk about where Barcelona will look next summer for that striker option, for that, preparing for maybe life when Lewandowski eventually maybe departs Barcelona. But right now, that front line, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Yamal, you put Dani Olmo in there as well. You put Rafinha in there. That is, you put in little Rooney as well. That is a fun, exciting front three, and that's what Hansi Flick can give you. Now, Barca fans, I don't know how you guys feel, but I rate the fact that they capitalized off of that defeat, that heavy defeat that Real Madrid suffered yesterday against Atletico, and now they sit top of the table against Sociedad with no kind of qualms, I think, about at any point feeling like, we might not come back, we might have to take this draw. They got a tough fixture next week against Sevilla, but before that it's actually PSG in the Champions League, and I'm actually looking forward to that fixture, albeit that I think Rafinha will be out. I think PSG will be missing Dembele maybe to injury, but that's the game that I think everybody wanted in the Champions League final. And I'm really excited to see that, because that's going to be probably one of the best games of the week. I might jinx it, and it might be a boring game, but I think it'll be a very fun game, because it's two exciting teams to watch. For me, Barcelona and PSG in Europe are two of the most exciting teams to watch, and that's including Premier League teams. That's including, Bayern Munich in the conversation. For me, those two teams are one of the most exciting teams to watch, and Barcelona fans, you guys are in for a goddamn treat. I'm envious, but Lamine Yamal, I call it Yamal magic, because at this point I don't know what it is. I'm so happy to see Rashford. He's got, I think, 2 goals and 3 assists so far for Barcelona, which is already better than what he probably done last season at Manchester United. And he's finding his footing again for Barcelona, not just being a passenger, but being part of the journey. And I think that's the most important part. Pedri, world class. I don't think there's a midfielder in Europe right now that really comes close to him. Maybe Vitinha and him on par, but for me, Pedri is world class. He's a phenomenal midfielder, and for me, with Pedri and Yamal, I think they have something that you can't teach in football. You either got it or you don't. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Barca fans, how are you guys feeling? Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here.